Days of my life is when I left school. I started work as an apprentice, journeyman electrician, and it seemed as though everything I'd been taught at school meant nothing at all. And the first job that I was working on was Victoria Railway Station in Nottingham, up in the roof space. It was completely dark, and the place was massive, the timbers, and it looked like a cathedral to me, being straight from school. Friday, in fact, when I was going to get home, and mother would have thought it had been a chimney sweep rather than electrical apprentice, because of the state of soot and muck and filth and stuff. In the roof space, it was just, at the time we started, it was tilly lamps, which are paraffin lamps, and there was casting shadows, which was frightening again, because it was like being in a secret cave, if you like. First time I'd been up in a roof space, you was wondering what was behind all these shadows. I had to go down to the clock tower. We had to put some temporary electric lighting in there for the builders to work in. Climbed up onto the first platform, which was where all the winding gear was for the clocks. And I didn't realise that they had to wind weights so high up for 7 days for the clock to run. And then we continued up the iron ladder right onto the top, where the clock tower it was itself. I went outside. To my amazement, he was looking directly onto Mansfield Road with the trolley buses and the people walking by. Didn't realise that's where he was, that high up. And my mate shouted from inside the clock, "What time is it?" So I turned around to look at the clock faces, and all I could see were the hands whizzing around. It was going hours after hour after hour. And inside the clock, he was actually twisting the connecting rods to 4 faces of the clocks. I went back inside the clock faces itself, and we had the doors open and shut down, right down at the bottom of the tower. And all of a sudden, out of the darkness, I say this little fella, couldn't have been any higher than 4 foot, well, it seemed that at the time, climbed onto the platform, put an handle into the winding gear, and wound the weights right up to the top. Then all of a sudden, it just backed up, vanished into the darkness. We had the doors open and shut again, and that was it. And we was frightened to death. We didn't know what was going on. We thought somebody was coming up to give us a sack about spinning these hands around on the clock. Then when we got downstairs, we came down the iron rung ladders and into the door. We opened the door in a vast office, and the station master manager was actually sitting there, big red-faced guy, and he says, "What are you doing?" Of course, at that age, 15, 16, thought he was a god. And when we explained what we'd been doing up on the top, apart from spinning the hands around, he suddenly realised what we had been doing. And then we asked him about this little fellow who had been to wind the clocks, and he said he hadn't seen anybody coming in and out of the office all day. So we just want to know now who winds the clocks.